So I've got the G2 core axle here. It's a bolt-in replacement for the JK. Taking a look at it because there was a few things I wanted to know that I couldn't quite figure out on the internet. The first thing I wanted to know was, does my locker indicator work? And it does. This is your plunger for your locker. This moves in and out when the locker is engaged. That's how you get the light on the dash. This here is the locker on-off power. Next question I wanted to know about was the skid plates on the bottom, or the lower control arm skid plates. There they are. With that comes a different shock mount. So if you have skid plates now for your shocks, they're probably not going to bolt on here. Another question I had was the oil level. I saw on one of the forums that this was too low. It's not true. Your oil level will be just fine to fill those axle tubes. This here is actually your fill level. You back this out, fill it up. When it pours out here, you're full. Pretty sure that's true. If not, go ahead and correct me. Another thing is my spring mounts are different. There's no way to get a screw in the bottom for a spring retainer. I got a TerraFlex lift. They have spring retainers. So I'm hoping this is just wide enough to hold that spring in there at articulation. Just want to get some close-ups here for anybody. Here's your drain plugs. On the side there. Just didn't really see any good videos or pictures of a lot of this stuff when I was on the market for it. Go ahead and pull off this cover real quick. So we've got the cover off. You can see that sucker is pretty beefy. It's aluminum, so it's going to dissipate heat a little better. But it is thick, and it's heavy. This is not the bolt. That final installation, it comes with Allen heads. Here's the inside. It's a brand new ring gear. That is the factory or the OEM carrier and locker, e-locker. Again, looks pretty strong, pretty well put together. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this thing over. Take a look at the bottom of the axle, get a look at the profile. I know they like to advertise that the bottom of it's a little smoother for getting caught on rocks. Things like that. I know there is another cover that has a dipstick here that's magnetic. Unfortunately, I didn't get that one. Did get a good price on this axle from my buddy down at the Edge Off-Road here in Denver. So if you need a new housing, he'll hook you up. Here's my license plate, if anybody ever wants to stalk me. I know a lot of chicks are into axles. So here's a look at the bottom. You can see the skid plate here. Looks very strong. Another look at that retainer for the spring. Again, there is no hole there for your lower spring retainers. And here's the bottom of this thing. I'm not going to mess with it, but obviously if this thing were on 100%, those would all line up nice and smooth. In fact, let me fix that. There we go, all nice and pretty. So, yep, that's smooth as can be. I had the AEV skid on there on the factory 44. Probably won't be installing that. I don't even know if it will install, but there's no reason to bother with it. Nice smooth profile all the way down the diff cover there. I think that answers just about all the questions I had when I was trying to look at this sucker on the webs. I would start spouting off some specs, but I'm sure I would screw something up. It is definitely heavier than the OEM. When I picked this thing up, it was noticeably heavier. Now, that said, it didn't have the carrier or the gears, but it's definitely more substantial. So, if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot it in the comments and we'll see what we can do for you.